Let me start with something culture doesn't want you to believe. You were not created randomly, and you were not created accidentally, and you were not created to just figure everything out by yourself as you go alone. God created you on purpose, for a purpose, with intention and design. He gave you specific gifts and talents and abilities that were meant to be used. That is what God culture is. Now, welcome to Foundations of Character. I am Scott Wilkinson, and today I'm going to show you how aligning with God culture gives you identity instead of you trying to figure it out on your own. God culture teaches you to put God first in all things and to treat others the way that you want to be treated. Let me rephrase it so that everybody can understand. Consider the highest, bestest first, and be nice, helpful, and considerate and loving toward everyone else. That means you have to deny yourself. You have to deny your emotions. You have to deny your feelings. You have to deny your selfish nature and consider something greater. Now think about this. To consider God first and deny yourself, that would be discipline. And to consider something greater than your emotions, your feelings, and your selfish nature, that would be self-control. To treat others like you want to be treated, that would be courtesy. And to help people is to sacrifice your time and resources for someone else. All of those are life skills. That's what I teach on this channel. You were never designed to become what you feel because feelings change moment to moment. You were designed to be consistently and unashamedly good, a light in the world. So aligning with God culture is the study of character. It is the study of character. The study of character is deciding what you believe and how you choose to function on this planet. What you repeatedly do and not what you feel is what shapes your identity. Now, I know there are a lot of people walking around and they are struggling to find their purpose. They feel directionless and they feel alone. They experience anxiety and depression as a result of it. Let me tell you something that I believe is that every moment that you're alive, God surrounds you with the correct people that are there to help and guide you and teach you and prepare you to find your purpose. That we just never ask for guidance or help. We want someone to magically just walk up to us and say, hey, I'm here to help. Regular humans don't do that. They love to help. They just don't know how or who, so they have to guess, which is the most inefficient way of doing it. In my 54 years on this planet, I've only had one person ever walk up to me and say, Scott, I feel like I'm supposed to help you in some way. What do you need? Only one. And after visiting with that person, I found out that he is part of God culture. But regular humans, they don't do that. In martial arts, we say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Now, purpose is not about self-expression. It's not about happiness, and it's not about chasing whatever feels good in the moment. Purpose is about service, sacrifice, giving, and helping someone else. You elevate other people. That's purpose. In business, we say to get what you want, you have to help a lot of other people get what they want. See, that's service. God designed you to serve people in some way, to bring order, protection, guidance, or care into the world around you. That's why your specific gifts exist. Learning what your gifts are is actually kind of fun. You get to try things, lots of things, and eventually you'll see a pattern form, a pattern that seems effortless for you. I would call that a gift. Like, I used to think that martial arts was my gift. That was my only gift, but it wasn't martial arts, it was teaching. I just used martial arts. If your gifts were only for you, they wouldn't be gifts, they'd be indulgences. And purpose always points outward. It's for other people. And let's talk about human culture for a second. I heard a story about crabs once. I don't know if you know how a crab trap works. It's a cage, got a hole in the side. The fisherman puts bait into the hole in the side. The crabs crawl into the hole to get the bait. The hole is open the entire time. If one crab gets smart and thinks, I'm just going to crawl out the same way I came in, and starts to climb out, the other crabs will grab him and pull him back. And if he keeps on doing it, keeps trying to, they'll pinch his legs off and make sure that he can't do that. Well, human culture is a lot like that. Humans see someone stepping up and improving, and they work hard to keep you down. Well, I think that misery loves company. Humans are herd creatures. They want to surround themselves with people that they feel like are like them. They don't want you leaving the group. And if you get smart, ambitious, and start having some success at finding what your gifts are, they're going to pull you back down. Human culture is all about my feelings, my insecurities, my desires, my expression. And when self becomes the center of everything, everything falls apart. Identity will become unstable, meaning becomes fragile, and people lose direction. Not necessarily because they're bad, but because they were never taught a solid character-focused identity. A confused identity is not freedom. It's misery, it's addiction, it's selfishness on steroids. Now, God culture doesn't remove individuality, it anchors it. When you know who you are, why you're here, and have a strong, well-established character, you're harder to manipulate, you're harder to confuse, you're harder to distract. A person with purpose doesn't chase every trend. I used to say in my school that leaders don't chase fads, they don't chase trends, they don't follow trends. A person with character doesn't crumble under pressure. And that's why character is identity, and character is what creates freedom. Teaching character that creates a strong identity matters even more when we're talking about raising kids. Children don't need endless options, and to be honest, kids aren't qualified to make certain decisions. Like they're not qualified to choose what their character or identity will be. They need clarity, and parents should supply that with zero hesitation. In business, we used to say, nobody cares about your business like you care about your business. And your kids are your business. They're not the school's business, they're not their friend's business, and they're not the business of human culture. They need to be trained to become something solid, unwavering. And God culture gives parents a framework. So teach identity before culture does, and teach purpose before confusion sets in. Teach service before selfishness becomes their normal. And that is not control, that's protection. You are protecting your kids by doing that. Now here's where it may get uncomfortable, because I want to create a distinction between God culture and human culture. God culture designs people with purpose. Human culture designs people to be confused, depressed, and full of anxiety. And that confusion doesn't happen by accident. There is definitely a strategy behind it, especially in this day and time. In the next video, I'm going to talk about that strategy. I call it the devil's game. It's going to talk about how distraction and confusion pull people off mission, and why clarity is always the first thing that gets attacked. God culture doesn't ask you to hate the world. It doesn't ask you to hate people. It asks you to be a light to it, to help people, to interact with people. It doesn't erase who you are. It reveals who you're supposed to be. And when character is strong, identity is clear, and purpose just flows. That's the foundation. That's it.